Disney Infinity is by far one of the biggest, most incredible games that Disney has ever produced. Created by the Avalanche Game Studios, this has got a pretty sort of controversial history for sure, and we have actually covered the rise and fall of Disney Infinity over on the channel before, so please go check that video out if you haven't already, so we won't go too far into the actual history of the games. However, there were many figures that were supposed to release that never did. We do have a few videos coming out soon as well, with different sort of versions of these characters, speaking about Pixar, Disney, Star Wars, Marvel, all characters that just never got released. However, today we're going to be discussing the 12-inch series. A series of characters that were supposed to be very large collectible versions of course, the ones we got given already. Of course, Disney Infinity does use the in-life gaming feature, which of course you then go and buy little figurines similar to your Funkos and stuff like that, but this time you put them on a portal and they send it inside the Disney Infinity world. But there were 9 figures that were supposed to be 12 inches big, and they were really, really cool, but they never got released. So today on the channel, we are breaking down the 9 Disney Infinity 12-inch figures which never seen the light of day. Hi, my name is Luis. I am a filmmaker specializing in animation, and I have an absolute huge love for Disney, parks, animation, films in general. So we cover all that stuff here on the channel. If you do like this sort of content, please hit that like and subscribe button. Our goal is 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. So please hit that like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next video. We've got lots of Disney Infinity content coming very, very shortly. But without further ado, let's get into it. First up, Buzz Lightyear. So Buzz Lightyear would have realistically just kept the same design that we saw from the regular figure. However, this time it's just a bit bigger and it's a different pose. Okay, so same design of figure, just a different pose, and this time it has a jetpack shooting stuff out of the back of it, which is kind of sick, to be honest with you. But no new abilities, nothing like that, literally just a brand new sculpt, mainly for the collectible versions. Somewhat related to Buzz Lightyear is, of course, we also had the plans of a 12-inch Darth Vader. It was from the Star Wars figures line. Again, it would have been the same design. However, this time we would have had a lightsaber out. It would have been a much more menacing pose. The base would have been changed to lava, rock, and metal, which of course refers to Darth Vader's origins, on Mustafar. And this time, Darth Vader would have had more abilities. In terms of his combat, it would have been more flourished and more like fancy schmancy, with much better attack. Unfortunately, Darth Vader did get scrapped alongside the scrappage of Disney Infinity in 2016. However, the renders for this character were complete. We knew what it was going to look like, and this was just about to be made. There was also rumors through the data that suggested a Luke and an Obi-Wan 12-inch version was also being created as well. However, as I say, none of these saw the light of day, let alone Luke and Obi-Wan. Everyone's favorite ice princess, Elsa, was then also on the cards, except this time she would have been wearing the Frozen Fever dress instead of the one we see her in the first film, and of course on the character sculpt we see in the regular series line. This time though, she's rather happy and fancy, not fighting in that crazy ice pose that we see her in the regular figure. And again, it just would have been an updated sculpt, probably more to celebrate the release of Frozen Fever. So a nice costume. Then probably one of the most notable and most well-known versions of these 12 inches belongs to Hulk. The base would have been changed to a red dirt, and he would have been in a ground pound position. Pretty much like every other figure in here, it would have been the exact same version of the figure we see. This time we would have had new abilities for him as well, with new different punches and attacks, or sort of putting them together, making a brand new playstyle for him. And we would have had the longly awaited Sonic Clap, which of course we did see pan out in the She-Hulk series, if anyone watched that. But of course, one of Hulk's iconic moves from the comics. Unfortunately, in 2016, of course, Disney Infinity did shut down. But on December 22nd of 2016, Disney Dan replied to Taobao, or Taobao, however you say that, a trusted retailer, who actually released a prototype of the Hulk, saying that he had got his hands on it. So the 12-inch figure of Hulk, some of them had actually been made. They are out there somewhere. Much like the very, very rare Peter Pan figure, these probably can be found. They are not going to be cheap. Sticking on the Marvel characters now, of course, to combat the Hulk, we had the Hulk Buster. Of course, first shown off in Age of Ultron. So of course, we then do see Bruce Banner use that in the Infinity War saga. The Hulk Buster would have been the exact same design, same base by the sounds of it. However, this time it would have been a hovering design of him blasting off from his shoes. We would have had a new finisher for this character, where he juggles enemies for pounding them into the floor. So it would have been a bit gruesome and a bit cool, but it's an updated version of the figure, which I think is kind of sick. And I like the fact they've done a Hulk and a Hulk Buster, so there's 2 of them. There was also rumours that Ursula would have been coming. There's been no images or anything like that of that, but it's been found that there was an official plan to have Ursula from The Little Mermaid as a 12-inch figure. And there was also plans that Yoda was supposed to be in this as well, which personally I don't think would have made any sense, because Yoda's like the smallest character you could have possibly made into a 12-inch figure. But he would have been pretty cool to have as a giant collectible figure anyway. Of course, one of the most iconic Disney Infinity characters, Jack Skellington, was also highly deserving of a 12-inch figure, of which which this time he would have been sort of stood there looking at a snowflake, and the base of him would have been a recreation of Halloween Town, which I think would have been sick. And to be honest, as much as even if you didn't want to play that as a character, that would have been awesome just to have as something on your desk. To be fair, all of these would have been like proper collectible items, not just to use in game. I personally would have had some. Jack would have then actually received the most amount of new abilities out of any other character. A whole new melee makeover, as well as brand new scare moves, filling the face, that thing. It's been described as being much more flamboyant, with lots of kicks and twirls. We would have also had a finisher, which was getting the Sandy Claus bag and grapple, and then just beating someone with it. We also would have had another finisher, which was him going into the splits, a twirl, and then a knockdown. And then his special is awesome. He would have summoned Lock, Shock, and Barrel to fight for him. Like, that's sick. But again, unfortunately, never seen the light of day. Lightning McQueen is then the last character on the list. This time, it would have been a sick version of the figure, and we did see mock-ups for this one as well. He'd have been leaning on his rear, bursting through a cloud of smoke, coming through the smoke from the exhaust. Mid-race, it would have been sick. However, unfortunately, Lightning got scrapped pretty early on into the idea of the 12-inch series, predominantly due to the fact that the team just couldn't find anything new for him to do, like no new abilities, power-ups, nothing like that. Maybe a new skin design. That's realistically not enough to warrant them spending enough money to make a 12-figure version. That's realistically not enough to warrant them spending loads of money to make a 12-inch version of this figure. I mean, personally, it would have been a sick collectible item, but unfortunately just wouldn't have been enough for them to actually warrant doing it properly. But yeah, that's all of the Disney Infinity 12-inch figure series that had been planned and unfortunately got scrapped due to the game's cancellation in 2016. However, as I've mentioned a couple times on the channel before on a few different videos, so please go check those out as well, Disney Infinity could be returning. We have seen confirmation that Epic Games are partnering with Disney, not just through the fact that we've seen loads of skins in Fortnite. Of course, you've got the Disney villains coming soon. You've got the Incredibles coming soon, which I will be covering on the channel because best believe I'm buying Frozone. You've, of course, then already got skins in there, such as Jack Skellington, Jack Sparrow. Sully has been found in data mines. So could we be seeing the return of Disney Infinity with this brand new announcement that Epic Games have with Disney? That should be coming, hopefully, in the next couple months. So hopefully we will see a brand new Disney Infinity style game, and instead of having these sort of in-person figurines which people realistically just won't buy anymore because it's a fortune to collect them, I reckon we will be seeing an in-game item shop similar to Fortnite where we will be able to purchase different versions of these Disney Infinity characters. Maybe even if you still have your Disney Infinity characters, you could maybe unlock them in-game the same way you already had done. And I think all of the scrapped characters will be available to purchase eventually, which I think could be sick. Of course, based on the different plans, the teaser trailers, things like that we have been released, by the looks of it, a lot of the famous lands from the Disney Infinity games are returning, including Radiator Springs, Wreck-It Ralph, including The Nightmare Before Christmas, Monsters University Campus. I cannot wait. If this is done the way that we think it's going to be done, and if it's done correctly, this could generally be one of the biggest games of all time. And you never know, they might include the 12-inch series. They might go back to it because there has been high demand for it. Hopefully, if this video does well, it's proof in the pudding that there are people interested in this. But yeah, that's the end of the video. If you guys did enjoy, please consider giving it a like and subscribe. Again, we are trying to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of 2024. If you are watching this in the future, hi, welcome. Are we on 1,000 subscribers? If we're on even more than that, cool beans, I am a very happy man. But if you do enjoy these Disney Infinity videos, we do have a few more coming out in the future as well. They have been scripted, planned, ready to be filmed. And let me know, which of these 12-inch figures would you have liked to see in person? And if Disney gave us the option of purchasing one of them as a limited release, which of them would you want to see? But for now, that's it. Stay safe. I'll see you in next week's video. Peace out. Bye.